responsibly. Now, I want to understand from Neerja. Neerja, would you say that Rahul Gandhi's interactions in United States were irresponsible? He made some political mistakes. That is what Mr. Alphonse is hinting at, and he's tried to defame the country. In your assumption, do you think Rahul Gandhi did so?
Look, Rahul Gandhi's visit this time was widely awaited and followed because he was going abroad for the first time as leader of the opposition, and what he would say there, you and I, we've gone through his speeches on YouTube and followed them for that very reason. Now, he was more confident, he was more articulate than he has been. He tried to articulate an alternative vision of India, inclusive India, where there is equity. All that he's done. Love in politics, which got him applause in whichever audience he spoke about it. But, there are 2-3 things that the BJP has picked up. And Rahul Gandhi, let's face it, is equal to controversy today. No matter what he would have said, no matter how sanitized his words, he would have caught it controversy because Rahul Gandhi is Rahul Gandhi in Indian politics today. And the BJP sees him as a red rat. Now, 3 things, yes, where I feel on China, he said there is no unemployment in China. Actually, not correct. And therefore, the BJP has latched on to his batting for China. I think that's a political kind of point they want to use this opportunity to make. Number 2, the Sikh thing. Now, I wrote it out. The Sikh thing was misplaced as an example. The fight is about whether a Sikh is going to be allowed to wear his turban in India, he says, or a kara in India, or he as a Sikh is going to be able to go to Gurdwara. That's what the fight is all about. Now, I don't know of the Sikhs not being allowed to wear a turban. I don't know of a single example in India today. Yes, in 1984, we gave shelter to friends of ours who were Sikhs. And they were very afraid to wear the turbans at that time.
People also said
for their lives. So that was a period under Congress rule. And that's a period will take a long time to live down. So when the Sikhs in the BJP are agitated, they have a cause to be agitated because it's a wrong analogy. Had he talked about the Muslim in the train, 72-year-old, who was heckled and beaten up, or, the other cases of lynching and the Muslims feeling insecure, that's an absolutely appropriate analogy today. Therefore, again, why he was doing it? Why does Rahul Gandhi, what we call indiscretions? Politicians, do they make indiscretions or again and again and again? Or is there a method to the madness? Many people are asking this. The third thing is on reservation, which is absolutely, Javed is absolutely right. He said exactly what Mohan Bhagwat has said. And he said it more mildly, in fact, than Mohan Bhagwat. Mohan Bhagwat said, as long as there's discrimination in society, reservations must continue, if necessary, for the next 200 years. Rahul Gandhi says Congress would think of scrapping reservations when India is a fair place. And that is not the case now. So he's not making a case for scrapping. To be fair to him, he's not making a case for scrapping reservations. In fact, everything he said about caste census gives you the impression that he would like to increase the quota of reservations within services, within government, for the 90% that he repeatedly talks about. But yes, just to quickly wind up, should a politician like him speak about national affairs? If you go to a university anywhere in the world and we are a democracy, you should be able to answer questions very honestly of people who are studying India, who are interested in India. Why should he be gagged, you would say, on the one hand? And yet, the Prime Minister or the leader of the opposition on foreign soil, criticizing each other and domestic politics playing out on foreign soil. Maybe, as Javed was saying, other prime ministers have not done it, other senior people have not done it, probably is best avoidable. But to say that he's anti-national, that he's a security risk, I would say no. He has criticized the government, he may be anti-government. but he's not anti-national because he's criticized the government.
Right. So all right. Now, Neerja, from the entire discussion, now I want to ask you one question. Who do you think is at a greater fault, whether it is BJP or it's Rahul? You said that, of course, calling him anti-national is too exaggerated, and this shouldn't have been done. But you also pointed out mistakes which probably were done by Rahul. So, who do you think is more at fault in this entire narrative which has been woven around the US trip of Rahul Gandhi? Yes, Neerja.
Look, as a leader of the opposition should not make even factual mistakes because he has a large enough team to help him. And particularly when he goes abroad to universities abroad, one wouldn't like either the Prime Minister or leader of the opposition to make those kind of factual errors. Now, who's at fault? I would have thought, what I felt, if I'm really honest, I would have liked Rahul Gandhi not only to give his alternative vision for his party and the opposition, I would have liked him to give his blueprint of that alternative for India. What is he going to do on the economy? How is he going to create more jobs? What is the action plan? He talked about manufacturing, of course. The PM has also talked about manufacturing. How is he going to go further? What about our neighbors? How are we going to make friends again with our neighbors? What is going to be our stand towards China, towards the United States of America, towards Europe? I would have liked him to have spelled all that out because he is the potential Prime Minister and people are viewing him in that light. So in the country, the audience that was watching him and abroad, the audience that interacted with him, Mr. Alphonse is right, maybe the mainstream media did not write about him and therefore the BJP should not pay much attention at all. And I would have liked Rahul also, he's covered there what he's covered back home in these election speeches. But to have moved on in the narrative and for BJP to also take it in its stride. After all, we are a very loud, cacophonous democracy and it will become very dull if we have to choose, every single word we have to say and think about it. So I think that the BJP also ride it. Take it in its stride.
Right.
Stay ahead with our Cutting Edge News app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.